Good morning. Saints man here, small van driver, working on and off the CX. Week in the life of, and yeah, I tramped on a racetrack. We'll come to that. That's Tuesday. Uh, my fuel this week, my cheapest fuel was 110. That was with my other UK fuel card, which I've got. Um, my original UK fuel card was 115, and they brought the price down on Tuesday to 111. But still dearer than the other one, so I didn't use it. But UK fuel at some stations was just as cheap. So your supermarket stations, there was a couple that was as cheap. So anyway, let's go back. It was a strange week. I just hit target. Well, I didn't actually. I was just under target. It seemed very difficult last week. I did too many dead miles. I did stacks of dead miles. But it's what you have to do sometimes. But here goes. We started off. We had a job already booked in Monday, and it was from Thrapston to Coventry. I thought it was going to be a real pain because it was going to a huge distribution centre, and I thought this is going to be a nightmare because I got instructions, specific instructions, but it wasn't. It was okay. I got there. There was no one queuing at the gate. They told me where to go. It still took 15 minutes to get in, get the goods on, which was a pallet, but it was all good. So that was okay. I then picked up a small job from Daventry. Although I was in Coventry, I was there early. I left the house at 5:40 because I got an early pickup in Thrapston. Uh, yeah, I was early, and there wasn't much going around, but there was a Daventry to Bedford, so I quoted on that and got it. And that was nice and simple. It was one large box, and then I struggled to get any jobs then, and for about an hour I stayed in Bedford. Then I decided to travel towards Northampton because I was really near home. I weren't far from home, and there was a small job come on from a village in Northampton, in between Ketchley and Northampton. It was a minimum charge, and it was going to 5 miles from my house. So although the money wasn't brilliant Monday, I didn't do many miles, and my pence per mile was really good. I'd got a job booked in for Tuesday. Believe it or not, it was 8:30 pickup, and it was Northampton to Coventry. Again, because I was in Coventry later, I was in Coventry sort of 9:30. There's lots more work going around, so I thought myself I was going to just bounce around the Midlands, stay local. I did a Coventry to Birmingham, which was okay. It took time because it's just city centre traffic. It's all about time. Then I did a Birmingham to Kenilworth, which was to a building site, a big building site, new building site, and that took time to find the fitter that the bits were for, and it had to go to him. It's again specific. I use that word instruction. It must go to this fitter. So obviously stuff's been delivered to the site before, and then it's been lost. And then I was between Coventry and Rugby, and I thought that was going to be it for my day, which weren't going to be a very good day again. And then a job come on, and it was from Rugby to Washington, right up in the northeast. It's south of Newcastle, Sunderland sort of area, and it was one part, and it was deliver ASAP, and I put really good money on it, and I got it pretty much instant, and it was one. It was only one box, small box, and it was going to for one truck depot to another, and so we took that longest drive up to there, and I was gonna get there about 6:30 with a break at night, so it weren't too bad, and I was gonna tramp out. Anyway, I'm looking at jobs. I put my feed on for the Newcastle area, my forward planner, so I would pick up jobs if they were around there to see what was if I'd get a job either for late that night or the next morning. And I did pick up a job uh, from Durham, which weren't too far away. Forget where it's going to now, but within 10 minutes it was cancelled. The goods hadn't passed an inspection or something like that. But it didn't matter; it was cancelled. So I'm sort of stuck. Anyway, when I stopped for my break, I had the laptop on, and I went and got a coffee. Put the laptop on quick, and there was a job from Scarborough, and it was going to Prescott the next day. It was pick up 9 o'clock the next day. I put really good money on it because I've got to get from Washington to Scarborough. Whether I did it at night or the next morning, I've got a good journey. And that road, the coastal road, it was going to be a couple of hours. And yeah, I did get the job. Pretty quick, got the job. And so I was tramping out either in Washington, Scarborough, whatever. So I delivered the Washington one, set the bed up, and decided I still felt fresh and that I'd drive to Scarborough at night because that road in the day was going to be busy. So I did. I drove down to Scarborough. It's a lovely coastal road, apparently, past Whitby, but it's pitch black. It's chucking it down the rain, so you don't see nothing. So I'd already picked a park for night in Scarborough, and it was at the top of a mountainish. It was like, and it overlooked the estuary, and Scarborough was the other side of the estuary, Scarborough, and it said very quiet, room for 4 or 5 motorhomes, really nice park up, beautiful walk in the morning that you could look over the estuary. And where it was parked was not far from where I was picking up because I was picking up outside Scarborough. So I got there, and it was the Oliver's Mount racetrack, which is for bikers. They race there a lot. They race their bikes. Cars don't. The roads, you see it on telly, and it looks quite what? It's not. It's narrow as, and overtaking must be a nightmare on a bike. And I parked on the track, well, just on a lay-by on the top of the mountain. Obviously, it's only racing at the weekends and whatever, but it was. So, got my bed up. I was in bed. I was there at 9 o'clock, parked up. I got some food with me. I picked some food up. I filled up the fuel and got in my bed, slept. I thought I'll wake up early. I've only got 20 minutes to get to where I'm going to get to, and I'll have a little walk around and have a look over the estuary because it said it's beautiful, views. Nah. I woke up, I had a beautiful night's sleep, by the way, and I woke up and I got out the back of the van and it was thick fog. Absolutely 10 foot. That's all you could see. 20 foot at the most. Couldn't even see anything. So my visit to Scarborough, I never actually see Scarborough. Not at all. Completely blanked it. So I still haven't seen Scarborough. But I got to a pickup on the Wednesday. I really, by the way, really good Tuesday, money wise. Very good money Tuesday. But the dead miles, I did like 85 dead miles to get to Scarborough from near Washington. It was south of Washington. So lots of dead miles. So not good. But that's the way it is. Wednesday, I did pick the Scarborough up, 9 o'clock, 3 boxes. Yep, 3 boxes to Prescott. Prescott between Liverpool and Manchester, sort of that area. St Helens around there, and Warrington's not too far away. And I'm looking for a job south. I didn't want a local job. I wanted to get down towards Midlands, and I quoted on 7, 8 jobs at 75 pence, 80 pence, and nothing. And the weather was pants. It was horrific weather. It was raining cats and dogs the whole time, from virtually Leeds across the 62 to Manchester on the way from Scarborough. It just hammered down all day, and it was just horrendous weather. I moved to Lim Services, which is normally a really good area to pick up. I'd stayed in Prescott, parked up there, and I thought I'll move a bit, see if it helps. Didn't help. I then got a decision what I was going to do, whether I was going to stay there or move, or stay there the night because I hadn't got a lot of money, or I was going to take the dead miles home, which was 120 miles. And what decided was I'd got a job offered to me for Thursday, locally from Northamptonshire. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to suck the dead miles up. So it was horrific. Wednesday was horrific, but I'd got the job booked in. I got a pick up at 8:30 on the Thursday from local to me. It was only a local job going down to Luton, but it's from a customer who I do a fair bit of work for. So I took the job. I'm not going to turn it down. It was an early pickup. It gets me to Luton, and hopefully Thursday gets me better work. So Wednesday was a complete balls, nose, absolutely rubbish. And a lot of guys were struggling. It just weren't the work around. And if there was, it was going for absolutely fucking peanuts. So Thursday we did the job, picked up locally. It's from a fabrication company. It was just brackets, 30 brackets, and I took them to Luton to a. It was a new unit being built, like a not a big distribution, but a warehouse. New unit being built, and they'd run out of brackets, so that was easy. And then I took a job from Luton. There was a job on there, and I'd quoted on it, and I was a mile from it to Southampton. Because it was early, I thought, you know what, I'm going to take a punt on that and go to Southampton. And I did. I got to Southampton, delivered, and that was to a site as well, a development site right near the biggest Greggs I've come across. It's to the west of Southampton near Nursling, and it's on a roundabout. It's a new Greggs, sits on its own, got a drive through, got a indoor eating, outdoor eating, big car park, and toilets. Ideal. So I sat there and looking for a job near a home, and I got one from Wimborne. So again, I got dead miles to do. I did 20 odd miles to get to it, but I was on good money. It was to Whitney. So Wimborne to Whitney. Picked that job up, made it a good day over target, so it got my money up. If anything else, I was doing a lot of miles there. And then Whitney, obviously, I'm driving home. The reason being, I've got a job booked in on the Friday morning, so I'd got to get to Northampton because that's where my pickup was. So I did the 55 miles dead home from Whitney. So I did about 90 miles dead that day. So dead miles are stacking. So Friday was a good day. I always try and do a short day Friday, and I got a job Northampton to Cheltenham, and I was picking up at 7:30 in Northampton. Local pickup, one box down to Cheltenham. So off we goes down to Cheltenham. Got good money on it. It's from a local shipper who uses me a lot, and I was just looking to get back. The reason being, Gemma, the stepdaughter, Judy's daughter, was moving house, and I was going to help them later in the day if they needed any help. So I wanted to get back, and also the Saints were playing at home to Sale Friday night, so I was getting back anyway. And this is when I had a stroke of luck. There was a job from Cheltenham. Cheltenham's not the best area. You get to work out of Gloucester, Tewkesbury, Stonehouse, round there. And there was a job out of Cheltenham. I was a mile from it. And it's going to Corby. That's, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I still quite pretty good money on it because I checked it was nearby and there wasn't a small van nearby. So I still quite pretty good money and it got sent through straight away. It wasn't, it said on the listing it weren't going to be ready for another half an hour, but he said, I'm sure it's ready now. So I drove to it and they just finished. It was just about ready. I was going to Corby to RS Components. It was a return, which if you go to return, Corby, it's normally okay. And I drove back and it was. So Friday, I started at 7:15 and I was finished at 12. So can't complain. I went and got a load of grub from Greg's for the removal guys, and Gemma, my stepdaughter, and my wife was there, and son-in-law and all that. So and the house move was going swimmingly. They were actually moved into their new house and all the stuff was being moved in. So a good day. So good return, and it made an okay week. It made a week money wise okay. Miles too many, but that's what it is sometimes. I did 1,590 miles in total, 45 and a half hours week duty time, 33 hours driving, which is pretty norm now. My money was 919, which you add the VAT on, makes it 1,102. You give the VAT man his 110, comes out 992, which works out £198 a day. So I'm only 150p, so I'm 150 down a day. So I could take that. The minus bit about this is the pence per mile was 64p, something like 64 pence. It was all the dead miles. But that's the way it is some weeks. That's the way it goes. But I still did target. It was a disappointing week. It seemed hard getting jobs. Wednesday was a complete nightmare. When I couldn't get a job out of the Manchester area, south, that's normally a given because it's one of the best areas, but it wasn't Wednesday. Whether it was the weather, I don't know. Yeah. We've got a job booked in tomorrow. It's Sunday morning, by the way, at the moment. Got a job booked in for Monday. Reading and Fareham with the laptop guys. And that gets me a really good start. I'll be in Fareham for 10:30, and I'll have really good money in the bank. So I'm looking for a job from anywhere around that area, up, back up. So I hope everyone's having a good week. I say it was really. I've never knew where Oliver's Mount was. I knew it was Scarborough, but up that mountain. Oh, if I just been a nicer day, the next morning, I mean, brilliant. I could have drove and took photos. I couldn't take a photo. I was right near the War Memorial at the top, Oliver's Mount War Memorial. That's where I was parked, and you couldn't even see the bloody memorial when I got up the next morning. So anyway, hope everyone's doing okay. Try and keep this shorter this week. If you got any questions, ask away. I did one on the tramping or the hotels. I hope that helps you. If you got any more questions you think I can help with, then please subscribe, like, and all that along the bottom, wherever it is. And I'll speak to you next week. Ta-da.